Bowls Australia acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which this stream is produced. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past and present.
Men's pairs quarterfinal about to get underway. All four rinks on green one here at Broadbeach. We have green one, or rink 1, 2, 3 and 4 in action as we see who will go through to the semi-finals. The next 2.5, 3 hours you will know. And then at the end of the day, the final will be well and truly set. Val Verbo here with you on Rinkside Live for the men's pairs quarterfinal between Darren Edmonston and Lee Greening of City of Geelong in Victoria, and New South Wales Jackaroo team of Nick Cahill and Cahill and Heeley. Alongside me, the one and only Brett Herbert. Brett, welcome.
Thanks, Val. Great to be here at the magnificent Broadbeach Bowling Club. A little overcast day, but no wind, very comfortable and a big crowd.
The crowd is absolutely massive. And we're about to go through all of the 4 quarterfinals that we have on this green at the moment. The 2 Victorians looking like they're well and truly in a good spot. They've both done such a wonderful job to get here. Same with Nick and Cahill. The 2 right at home Jackaroos, absolute superstars they are. Great people as well as bowlers. First bowl about to get underway. We've got the yellow bowls, the yellow size 3 red lines for Darren. Lee using size 3 Dreamline XGs.
And a good starter. Nice little nerve settler.
It's a very big opportunity for Nick and Cahill. So in this morning's matchups, round 5, the round of 16, it was Nick and Cahill going past Matt and Mike Small, the conquerors of Jack McShane and Joseph Clark. 20 shots to 10. Darren Edmonston and Lee Greening defeating Matty John Sargent and Stephen Richardson, or Matty Sargent from the ACT. And Steve Richardson 20 to 12, but they picked up a 5 in the last end, so it was relatively close. The other quarterfinals going on, each of those at the moment. Hopefully we might be able to get you some updates on the scores as well. Ryan Burnett and Ryan Bester against the Nelson brothers, Jacob and Kane. James Bodnar and Kobe Jarman, young superstars from South Australia. They are looking the goods. They take on Ray Pearce, the 2019 champion, and right at home Jackaroo, Lee Schreiner. Then Connor Maguire and Michael Wilson against Corey Wedlock and Gary Kelly. They're the other 3 quarters going on at the moment.
We've got a large contingent of South Australian supporters next to our tent watching Rink 1. So if you hear a bit of cheering, that's what it'll be about. But we'll keep our eye on Rink 2. And as you'd expect at this stage of the tournament, bowls are very close. Heads are tight.
So this quarterfinal poised to be very good. These underdogs looking to cause yet another upset. Speaking to Lee and Darren before about their biggest bowls achievements, and they looked at me, took a second pause and said, well, this
is it.
Yep, this is it. Both have won the club singles and won a lot of club events, but Lee well and truly said this one takes the cake. Quarterfinal at the Australian Open in the men's pairs, and Lee is the bowls director of the City of Geelong Bowling Club, and we've got Darren, who's the assistant bowls director, so they work very closely together. Lee, of course, was on Rinkside Live throughout the National Schools Championships in 2024 at the City of Geelong.
Yeah, does an awesome job at the City of Geelong, doesn't he, Lee Greening?
It's a wonderful club. It really is a wonderful club. And, you know, we're very lucky the fact that we were able to go there for such a long time or for a few days, and it was cold, but it was good fun.
No, it was an excellent, great experience. It was the first time that 5 states had attended the schools championship, with Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales, and Western Australia and South Australia joining in. It was a huge event and a great experience for a lot of those young bowlers.
And Lee did such a wonderful job in helping us get set up, allowed us to sort of keep our stuff at the club overnight, and an absolutely ripping fella. Came over last week on the first day of the AO just to say hi. And, you know, he's one of the great people in this sport, salt of the earth, just loves bowls.
Yep.
Speaking of loving bowls, this man, Cahill and Heeley, he adores this sport. He's I think, self-proclaimed bowls and nuffy.
That's going to fall in.
And I believe that was 1 taken out.
All 3. Nick gives the indication it's 3.
3 to the Jackaroos. So, Carl adding to the count there, and of course we know what he can do on these Gold Coast greens. He's an Australian Open champion. He's a multiple AO champion. He's won the 4s on 2 occasions. He's won the pairs. He's won the triples. Singles the only thing that he's missing from his illustrious CV, but not to discount all those. But he's a 2-time world champion as well. Only 4 Australian men have achieved that feat.
Wow.
And gone beyond the 1 gold medal. Carl is 1. Aaron Sheriff has won 3. Brett Wilkie and Corey Wedlock. We've had 2 of them on our live streams today. So we know the pedigree that Lee and Darren are up against. They've got their work cut out for them. Should be mightily pleased with how they've gone at this Australian Open.
Nick leading us way well. Darren there just underneath and a little short. You want to make sure he reaches the head throughout the game against quality opposition.
Great to have your company wherever you're watching from. Rinkside Live around the world, from Gold Coast right to your home or your car or wherever you're watching. If you're at lunch, if you're at dinner, we're here.
Could be breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Yep.
depend where you are in the world.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Good representation from people from all corners of the country. Western Australia, Tasmania, from everywhere, and then internationally as well. Huge event, world-class venue here at Broadbeach.
Thought you were about to call Tasmania international. I thought Connor was going to have to jump over the chair and hit you.
No, I'm well aware he's not far from me, within arm's reach.
He does have his passport with him, apparently.
Get overseas, Colin.
Yeah. So Nick using the Aerospaces, Carl using Henselite Dreamline XG, Darren Edmonston, as I said, using the Taylor Redline, and Lee Greening using the Dreamline XGs. Those bowls that Nick Cahill is sporting, they were the bowls he used in the final of the 2023 men's 4s, where he played the rescue man. They were down multiple shots on many occasions, and he almost got them over the line single-handedly. Not to discount Scotty De Jong, Brendan Wilson and Clinton Bailey. Nick was just on another level that day. He was outdrawing Aaron Sheriff. He was on fire. doing an incredible job. Carl going behind.
Yeah, good positional bowl there. Lee now. Just want to settle some nerves, get a nice close one. Big occasion for them.
Nick and Carl, as we say that, just dip under. Nick and Carl both playing for New South Wales. Nick, formerly of Queensland, hails from Bundaberg. Played at Broadbeach for many years, or a couple of years at least. So these greens are like home to him. Lived up here, worked at the club, and now working and living down at Cabramatta, where he plays with Carl, and he's moved to New South Wales in the Sides Championships. Won the Ali Shield for the second time last year. New South Wales are absolutely dominant and haven't lost a tie since the 2022 Nationals, so it's been a very long time between losses for New South Wales. I think they've won something like, they've won 14 ties in a row to win the last two, and they won 5 in a row, so they're sitting at 19 since their last loss at the Ali Shield, or in the Australian Sides Championships. That's the juggernaut that they're on at the moment. Got Rachel Roger watching on. Hi, Herbie and Val.
Oh, hello, Rach.
Looks like another great day of bowls it is. When are you getting up here, Rach? She's probably the MVP at Bowls Australia, isn't she?
Oh, she's a gun. Outstanding. The amount of work she does. She's the glue.
Yep. I think there's a glue brand, Rogers Glue, that will start for her.
Yep.
An absolute superstar of a human. So, g'day to you, Rachel.
Had her sister on the previous stream.
Yep.
Comment.
So Lee Greening, this is a really big bowl in the context of this match. Down 3 already.
And a couple on the head.
He's watching this intently, wants it to hold, needs it to hold now. Oh, wow.
Splinter.
Well, he's cut it down, and importantly cut it down.
Yep.
So I think that's just the one.
I reckon it's one.
Rachel gets up here tomorrow, and of course there will be a selfie booth set up where you can take photos with Rachel Rogers. She's one of Altona's finest.
I'll be first in line.
So 4-0 the score after 2 ends. Nick Carl sporting a very handy moustache as well. Growing out the facial hair. One of the nicest people in this sport is Nick.
And one of the best at it too.
Yep.
He's around the mark again. Good weight.
But, you know, he's come from a great family. I met his dad a few times, and he's a ripper. His mum's here watching on, was chatting to her just before, and just such a good family that he comes from. No surprise, he's such a wonderful human being.
Darren, roughly 2 foot short. Really needed to put a bit more on and use that bowl of Nick's.
What has Nick Carl got? Well, he's leading very nicely at the moment. Cahill and Heeley would be pretty happy, and a nice little handshake there. Saying, job well done, young man.
Yep, good bit bowls just behind. Never wasted there. Darren now with the yellow bowls. It's going to be tight. needed to play up to that bowl of his. Make some connection. Give Lee something to work with.
So the women's pairs are into the second round at the moment, which is the round of 32. Some big matches coming up. Wendy Wilson and Trish Doolan, 2022 finalists against last year's winners, Alan Fife and Christina Christic. That's happening right here. Emma Boyd and Olivia Bloomfield, they're still going, taking on Yvonne Lovelock and Nolene Dutton, who's a two-time pairs champion at the Australian Open. Looking very good here for Carl and Nick. Selena Goddard and Chloe Stewart, they are still in the draw. Jess McMullen and Rebecca Van Ash taking on Colleen Orr and Sarah Boddington. And then around, well, still on this green, Jamie Lee Warsnop, Dawn Heyman still in, Cass Millerick, Kylie Lavis, Kath Greenslade also still in, Lara Butler and Olivia Cartwright taking on Taylor Bruce and Jessica Tell in a very big contest there.
Good SA grouping of Kath Greenslade and Jodie Cotts.
And then Carmen Anderson, Ellen Faulkner, they are still going. We streamed them the other day. Carmen and Ellen were in very good form. Nurul Ayani Jamil from Malaysia against Emma Firyana Saroji. And then as we go down the draw, a little bit more. Kelsey Cottrell, Lindsay Clark still involved in the draw. Leanne Chinnery, Kelly McCarahan as well. And Paulson, another one that's still in the draw. So plenty to whet the appetite as Lee Greening just finds his way through, but not a bad home. He's going to have one more opportunity here, Lee.
It's a good bowl by Lee. There are a couple down at least. Now just one.
Comes up to have a look. It's been an amazing tournament for Lee Greening. He's made it through the sectional rounds of all three disciplines. In his singles, was very unlucky to go down to Barry Lester in the opening round. Was at 21-18 in the end, and he had an opportunity to take the game, he was telling me before, and just missed a shot. And Baz was a little bit too consistent by his words. But got through in the fours, lost to Cody Packer. And still going in the men's pairs. It is really a wonderful story.
Yeah, that's tremendous effort from Lee. Carl getting to the back.
So Lee Greening, what's he got? What has Lee Greening done?
Good bowl. It's going to be shot. It is.
The grass is green. 4-1 in favour of Nick Carl and Carl Healey.
Well
The
done,
Victorians
Lee.
on the board.
You just might settle now. Hopefully get some of those nerves out of the way. You get a nice close draw, save a couple of shots.
It is a bit nerve-wracking because you come through, it's always tough to get here, and then you get to the position where you're taking on two Jackaroos on the live stream. Certainly not easy.
Yeah, the experience of the big occasion really helps out those top bowlers that are here year in, year out. Just looking across at the couple of rinks here, we've got an Adelaide team, a couple of young lads, Kobe Jarman and James Bodner. You know, they're against a couple of absolute superstars here on rink 1. And then the next rink over, same situation. The Victorians here, Lee Greening, Darren Edmonston, against another couple of absolute guns. It's exciting. That's what the Australian Open's about. Anyone can enter, and anyone from club level can play world champions, Commonwealth Games medalists.
Jackaroos, and that's exactly what they're doing at the moment. And as you said, you know, the young South Australians taking on Ray Pearce and Lee Schreiner. Last year, Ray Pearce won the mixed pairs in the World Bowls Indoor Championships with Samantha Atkinson, and Lee Schreiner won the World Champion of Champions. So both of them won world titles last year. And then you've got Cahill and Heeley in 2023 winning a world title. Corey Wedlock doing the same. Ryan Bester. So there's, across the 4 rinks, there's a world champion on each of them.
Oh, yeah, right.
And then you've got Kane Nelson, who won the World Bowls Indoor Junior Championships title last year for the under-25s.
They will enjoy the experience. Jack's hiding on the... You can just see the edge of it in between the 2 colourful bowls of Nick Cahill, green and purple and orange. And Jack's just in between them.
I've got to pull you up on that because I've been wrong for 3 years, and Nick's dad corrected me. It's Nick Cahill.
Oh, sorry, Carl. I knew that because we were going to call him Nick Cahill Heeley.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's, don't worry, I was doing it for 3 years, and I go up to Nick, I'm like, why didn't you tell me? And he goes, oh, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, I knew it was Nick Cahill. I apologise.
It's very easy to do. You see Cahill, you think, or Tim
I
Cahill.
just looked down and I was reading it rather than...
Well, he's bowling well. Look at the replay. Things are looking a little bit difficult here for the Victorians.
Yeah, good grouping by Darren, but those 3 bowls are not going to help them.
We've got Lucas Protopapas watching on, and he's given us right at home pens. And look, I told him with the last pens there were a dual colour pen, red and black, which I know Lucas would love because he's an Essendon fan, but they didn't work.
Well, that's a bit like Essendon.
I didn't want to say that. That's not from me, Lucas. That's from the arrogant Hawthorn fan next to me. But these pens, these new ones that he's given us, they are very good. And I must say, a big shout out to Right at Home, our great partners at Bowls Australia, the Right Care, Right Assistance, Right at Home. Visit rightathome.com.au, 1300 363 802.
Yeah, talking of fantastic human beings, Lucas Protopapas, one of those. Great guy. A great ambassador for Right at Home. Not around where he needs to be. Wait's okay. Probably needs to play up to the bowl of Nick's.
The one thing I must say that Lucas does, we'll get to that after this bowl. I hope you're listening, Lucas, because I'm going to pull you up live on air here. He says right at home for everything. He uses it as a pun. And so you're not being paid every time that you say it, Lucas.
Does he get per mention?
He must. I don't know. But less is more, Lucas. Sure, Glenda won't want you overpopulating. Every time I see him, he mentions it. We did, the staff painting thing we did at our recent conference.
Yeah, I remember.
He sponsored it. He's put Right at Home on there.
Yeah, that was the next level. Whoa.
Oh, wow. Talk about brand ambassador. So this is looking as though this could be a 4 to Nick and Carl and an opportunity for Cahill and Heeley. And look at this. He was coming through with a little bit of weight.
Fortunately, hit that front bowl right up, the front bowl of Carl. He's probably put it into the count. Could be 5.
Yeah, and this could be a gargantuan count for the Australian duo. Has it gotten all the way? It's finding its way through.
Another counter.
And I think I think that might have been the full count. I can't see any other way that it wasn't.
No, it looks to be. I'm pretty sure that colour bowl is...
Yeah, and Carl looks at us and says, yes, sirree. That's the first full count we've seen in men's pairs so far at this Australian Open. And this is the excellent start that these two are after. 10 shots to 1 after 4 ends. Lee Greening and Darren Edmonston with it all to do. Spot in the semi-finals up for grabs. These matches, of course, untimed. Can take as long as you want. I'm ready.
Yep, I'm ready to sit it out.
Yep.
Games this morning have been played very quickly. Yesterday the same. A lot more on the line the closer you get towards the end. Good there from Darren. Just touching the jack, not quite cleanly. Nick just pulling up, metre short. You can see in that 45 shot just how many people are here watching. Many people have commented about the number of people that are here spectating. The rinks are lined, all four sides, sitting and standing. Just a huge crowd.
Lucas is watching on, saying, too kind, thank you, I'm glad you're enjoying the pens. Okay, I will, just for you, less is more. Took me to shame him publicly. You're a good man, Lucas. Saw him doing a little bit of a dance last night, doing some music bingo.
Yes.
Out underneath our hotel.
We caught him jigging to the Bee Gees last night.
He was going off. So Darren getting one behind, and the call from Lee Greening is that's okay. So they're down by 9. And they absolutely have to win this end. If they keep dropping them, things just look that little bit worse for them.
Yeah, they want to consolidate a bit of nerve after that full count. Just to wrestle back some momentum, perhaps. Change the end length. Just a comfortable length.
And I think what they have to keep thinking, this is a nerve-wracking situation for sure. But just think positively about, look at where we are. Look at the situation that we're in. We're in the quarterfinals of the men's pairs at the AO. There were how many teams that started this? It was a ridiculous amount. Almost, or just over 256 sections.
Wow.
And they've made their way through. They deserve this spot. They deserve to be here. Yeah, rather than be overawed, perhaps just look around and enjoy the moment. Yep, look at who's playing on the rinks next door. You're alongside them, and Lee Greening.
Good bowl, Lee. Well done. Just touching the jack.
So what's the call here from Nick for Carl? The problem is if he tries to split that bowl of Lee, the jack comes out to the side to Darren Edmonston's bowls. So this may have to just be a dead draw for Cahill and Heeley, or...
Oh, he's got a couple to come.
Does he go big?
I think he'll try and disrupt it.
Yeah. Get it out. If he kills it, it's a draw each to the tee. I think this is the disruptor, and he's watching.
Just got to rattle things around, especially that shot bowl.
It's close. It's not a bad position to be in, and that has disrupted things a little bit.
Now he can just clunk that bowl, the shot bowl. It's roughly an inch from the jack, 2 centimetres.
Roll it back to Nick Carls and his own. If he can roll it up the line.
Lee chasing this one. He's going to guide it all the way in.
What has Lee Greening got? He likes it.
He wants it in front. He wants it in the way.
Don't know if he has sent that.
Thunderbolt on the back of the shirts.
Yep, the City of Geelong Thunder. Should call it the Tornadoes.
After our experience.
Yep. It was cold, it was windy, the rain was bucketing down, the poor children.
Oh,
Well, we were sitting undercover, it was okay. Make the children do all the work. But no, it really is a great club there. It's a great setup.
is he going to get contact with this bowl? He did, but it's
wow.
cut it out still. He had to hit it flush to hit the jack, but it's cut it out instead.
So it's currently 2. This is an opportunity for Lee Greening to add in a third here and apply a bit of pressure. Get 3 back, halve that last end.
So just looking, if he beats the wing bowl, he'll count. The yellow wing bowl I'm talking.
Lee Greening, bring the thunder. Watching it, I think the weight's okay.
Yeah, it's on a good track too.
And
Wow. No
Lovely.
one. What a shot.
absolutely lovely.
What a shot, Lee Greening. It's no surprise he's got this far in the tournament. That is outstanding.
So it's 10-4 after 5 ends here in favour of Carl Healey and Nick Carl. Big 6 on the 4th end. How telling will that be in the context of this match? Huge amount of people watching on here from around Green 1. Second week is an absolute staple, the men's pairs here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. It always is around Green 1. We're situated right on the corner.
And traditionally, pairs being one of my favourite competitions, formats, and regularly in the AO, they've been the most thrilling final.
Well, yeah, that's what we've seen. We saw 2021, Cody Packer and Matty Johnston won the title in a thriller. Last bowl to win it. 2022, Ben Twist and Aaron Wilson win an extra end over Ben Winther and Brett Spur. 2023, Disco and Twisty again securing a 3 on the final end to overcome Aaron Sheriff and Aaron Tees by 1 shot.
That one I had written off Wilson. Benny Twist had led and put bowls in reasonable spots, but it just did not look like they could get 3 on that last end.
And that piece of brilliance from Aaron Wilson in that final end stopped Aaron Sheriff getting the Grand Slam. He won the 4s and the singles that year.
Oh,
And then last year, Jack and Joey, who could forget? And of course, the part played by Nathan Rice and Flynn O'Shaughnessy. What a conclusion to that narrative.
that really brought him to the front end, didn't it? The young fella winning the pairs that was last year?
Yes,
Yep.
it did.
And then going on to win the World Indoor.
He's won absolutely everything.
At just 19.
Quite
20? Birthday soon.
His birthday was yesterday.
There you go.
20 years of age. Lee Schreiner and Ray Pearce leading 8-zip over the young South Australians. I think the Nelson boys against Burnett and Bester. I'm going to double check that score for you.
3-5.
Could be 6-2 in someone's favour.
Yep, 6-2 on the rank
6
3.
6-2 to
Yep.
Kane Nelson. And then the
3-5 on the next rank.
yeah, but I think that is against Gary Kelly and Corey Wedlock.
Back on rank 2. Nick leading very well. A couple of shots at least.
It is Connor Maguire and Michael Wilson leading Corey Wedlock and Gary Kelly. 5 shots to 3. Wouldn't that be an upset? So the Nelson boys looking to get through.
Lee Green just turning that bowl, last bowl in to a good position. Cahill and Heeley just wide. So much action going on across the 4 rinks. Running up and back the rinks, drives.
These bowls just going up hand in hand here. Look at this on screen. Similar colours too. What has Lee Greening done? He's not a mile away, I tell you that.
Jeez, he's drawn pretty well there. Falls over, he'll have, if he doesn't, he have seconds.
Close, or it's definitely second at least, but sitting precariously on its bias at the moment. Ten shots to 4. They need to keep it under 6 because that's the magic number to keep it going to the final end. Can this Victorian duo cause an upset? It's
Lee running up, have a look.
And these matches, of course, they are untimed. So don't forget that we've been playing 2 hours and 15 minutes, but when the open disciplines hit the quarterfinals, untimed matches.
Not sure what they're discussing here. Got to play on the back end. He's been able to draw to the jack in the previous end. No reason he can't do it again. Showing he's a very good draw bowler. Just left it wide. Just looking at the comments, Val. Shout out to Arthurton Bowls Club in South Australia. Yep. Small club. Great club too.
Great to have everyone's company wherever you are watching. Rinkside live at the 2025 Australian Open. What has Carlos done here?
On a good track.
Oh, he's looking very nice.
If you can get it out that side, it'll... Oh, it's a goal. Nick.
Not sure if Nick Carl or David Roden. But the end total ends up being a 1 to Nick and Carl. $11 it is, and the goal umpiring was splendid from Nick Carl.
Perfectly timed from Nick.
He had good action actually. I reckon he's found a calling there for after bowls.
Yeah.
Has Nick?
Surprised he knew the AFL, being from Northern State.
So there's plenty happening around the Gold Coast over 60s, men's pairs, multi-disability action also happening at the moment. All the finals will be played here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club at the end of the week, Thursday and Friday. You've got to get excited for that. If this doesn't get you up, I don't know what will, because my word, it's good fun.
Ray Pearce and Lee Schreiner are hot on rink 1. Just pulling up short is Nick on that one. Maybe 600 mil short. He won't like it there.
part of the people watching on. We've got Cooper Sutton, who's going to be playing in the under-18s, won the Junior BPL Challenge. He's watching on next to us. Good to see him here. He's given us a bit of a wave too, Cooper. He's an absolute star. Made the move to Deer Park recently from Altona. Looking forward to seeing how he develops, and he's playing the under-18 singles as well, which will also conclude here on Friday.
Lee, they're indicating that they have got shot. That yellow bowl just behind. Darren coming for the forehand. Needs to make sure he gets around that shot. He's well around.
So
that out.
Good leading from Darren. Getting them past the jack, that's what they need. They're chasing numbers, down by 7.
Yeah, certainly not disgracing himself. Getting around the mark, bowls in the head and just behind. Always useful behind. We've seen that time and time again. At this level, those back bowls always coming into play.
Kane and Jacob Nelson on the next rink over, leading Ryan Bester and Ryan Burnett 9 shots to 3. Lee Schreiner and Ray Pearce 10 zip to the good over their young South Australian opponents, Jarman and Bodnar. The Bodnar name definitely becoming synonymous with South Australian bowls. Sheridan, a very good player herself, and also the Jarman name in South Australia.
Yeah, well, Kobe's certainly making a name for himself at just 16.
Yep.
Young bowler, very accomplished bowler, good bowler.
But also you think about the name Jarman, Darren Jarman, and what he did in the 1997 AFL Grand Final against St Kilda.
For the Adelaide Crows.
Yep. For the Saints fans, I apologise because I don't know what I would do. I really don't.
Shout out to one of our retired CSMs, Wazza, who's a Saints fan.
He's a diehard.
Suffers.
Yep. And Troy Corber as well, also a St Kilda fan. You do hope that they get some success soon. It's one of the teams that they've endured so much heartbreak. More for the fans rather than anything.
Absolutely. That drawn grand final.
09 as well.
Against Collingwood.
Tom Hawkins hitting the post. And their only premiership, 1966, they won by 1 point.
Following this one down, needs it to run it through. Oh, not sure it's reached. It's close.
Lee Greening. Things are surrounded here by the white Cahill and Healey bowls. It's going to come up and have a look. This is a huge end because they need to keep chipping away at this score. It's okay if you go down early, but you have to work out a way to come back, and this is why Carl and Nick are so good. They've got an ability to defend. Pretty relaxed out there, Carl and Nick, just having a joke with Ray Pearce. It's a key when you get to this part of the tournament. If you're relaxed, it works out so well for you.
Yeah, tensing up does nothing for your delivery. You need to be relaxed, calm, low heart rate. Enjoy the moments. I imagine Lee here will be drawing on the forehand. Or is he? He's going to come in on the backhand.
He's coming with
got
a bit
bowls
of weight
out there.
Oh boy. So this is
That's the problem. It's a big gate.
Yeah, Darren's on his haunches. So we're getting the measure. We think it's 2.
Risk for reward there, wasn't it?
Yeah. What is the total going to be? Is it going to be 3? I think it might just remain at the 2. But we'll find out. Oh, there's 3. So Carl and Nick storming away. It's 14-4 now after 7. We're near the halfway point. They are looking strong.
Yeah, building good heads. The team of Nick, Cahill, Healey. I've gone with it.
Listening too much to Connor Munnings next to us. That was just stealing his jokes, really. Nick, Cahill, Healey.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Does. Kind of just works, doesn't it? Speaking of working, their scoreline is working well for them, 14-4. As we head into the 8th end, they will want to be in the sheds as soon as possible just to give themselves enough of a time to recover.
Nick relentless on the lead up front.
Winner of this match to take on the winner of Connor Maguire and Michael Wilson up against Corey Wedlock and Gary Kelly. And that scoreline at the moment is 6 apiece. So Corey and Gary have come back from a 5-2 deficit early on. They've had a couple of scares in this competition. Their morning this morning against Darren Gordon and Scott Boshin. Well, they didn't have it all their own way.
No, they got out a bit, didn't they?
Yep, and then they came back, did Scott and Darren, from 16-8 down. It was 16-14 at the end of it.
Yeah, huge comeback.
Although in that last end, Gary Kelly didn't play his last bowl at 1 down, so...
They knew what to do there.
Didn't mind, just, played it well. So plenty of clubs on show here. We've got the Adelaide Bowling Club, Raymond Terrace, Tarrant Point, Cabra, City of Geelong, Capalaba, Pine Rivers, Musgrave, Deer Park.
Darren just clipping that yellow bowl, but it's not shot, indicated.
That's just what you have to do against these two. Nick in behind this one. He does not mind it at all. Nick
Sits
Carl.
that through. Wow, that is exceptional. Touching now. Yep, Lee swings the arm.
Exudes excellence, does Nick Carl.
See whether he's
Big
got
weight.
the drive in his kit bag. Bang. Oh, my God, he got both of them out and didn't move the jack or the up.
That's as good as you'll see.
Wow. Well, it was an immediate call from Lee. He could see it. Hit him.
Well, the shelf was there. The target was there. Had to be done.
Just to get them both out. They're so close to the jack. Get them both out.
Well, this is Nick's bowl.
Yeah.
Have a look at how that came in.
That boulder's all but touching the jack. How he hit it with such pace.
Yep. And this
Jack
is
was stood still.
Boom.
What a great replay there, Connor. Thanks, mate.
But the way that the bowl just sort of slid past the jack, he almost jumped it.
Oh.
Absolutely brilliant from Darren Edmonston. And another reason why they have made it all the way through to the quarterfinals here at the Australian Open in the men's pairs. Even got some furry canine friends watching on behind the rink. There's a couple of dogs around, sitting, well behaved.
Enjoying the beautiful weather up here on the Goldie.
Having a smell.
Good bowl, Lee. Thanks for the comments, everyone. People watching from all over the country.
So the 7 ends we've played, 3 of them have been fairly sizable collects for Carl and Nick. A 3 on the opening end, a 6 on the 4th end, and a 3 on the 7th. Lee and Darren have managed to secure a 3 on end 5, but they're going to need a lot more of them. Is this tracking for Lee Greening? Just no. Next door, Lee Schreiner and Ray Pearce. Well, 15-0.
Yes, in between ends. I've been watching this closer rink 1. The SA boys have had bowls in the head, but the experience of Lee.
They are looking very good, Lee Schreiner and Ray Pearce, that is for sure. Razor, winner of the 2019 pairs event with Aaron Sheriff. Won the 2021 fours as well. And he's also gone on to take home the... What was the count there? He's also gone on to take home the 2024 single of fours as well.
I think it might have been 2.
Quite see. We'll call it a 2. 14-6. We'll get that updated. Lee Schreiner, of course, a pairs champion in 2011. When, I think the event, I'm not sure if it was in Darebin or Shepparton at the time. One of the two. It was in Victoria. Looking to win their second pairs events. (14-6) the scoreline, we believe. The Nelson boys leading Ryan Bester and Ryan Burnett 9-5. Wedlock and Kelly 6 apiece in their matchup as well.
Rush of blood there from Darren. A couple of metres past. Not wasted, but he's looking for a close one at this stage. Nick. He's good. Comment, no more Crows talk. That would be from a Port supporter, I reckon.
Must be. And Darren, well, he's just started to lift his game a little bit. Darren Edmonston. And the lead battle in 3-bowl pairs, mightily important. I know a lot of people call it a skips game, but it is far from that. Because your lead can set it up for you, and Brett Wilkie was the perfect exhibition of that yesterday with Luke Turner.
Yeah, he set up heads beautifully for Luke to do very minimal work, but he did do huge bowls when required. But Brett Wilkie, he just set them up time and again.
Oh, we've got Nick Carl's dad, Greg, watching on. Good afternoon. Thanks for your kind words about our family really enjoying the live stream. Well, Greg, you're a star, mate. Great to have your company. Your son's doing a pretty good job as well. Nick is a big tennis fan as well. Know that much. We've talked a lot during the January window and, of course, during the Grand Slam season, which Wimbledon kicks off very shortly. Didn't really get to watch much of the Roland Garros final, which was upsetting.
Boy, massive drive on the rink 3 from Bester. Put the jack into the next suburb.
If anybody in Mermaid Beach is around, we want our jack back. So Lee Greening, this is a pivotal end after scoring a 2, or we believe it was a 1 or a 2. They got 3 around, possibly even 4 here. A massive collect is exactly what they're after to get back into this match. Oh, I don't think that's going to... Oh, maybe. Might be in. Might be in.
It's behind, so it's not out of the situation.
But Carl's going to find something. You just know that Carl's going to find something. And he hasn't got shot, but...
It's not even second.
Cut it down. The call from Darren is 2.
Right.
Sure, everybody at City of Geelong has this on, so good afternoon to you. Your bowls director and assistant bowls director are doing a wonderful job taking on these 2 superstars from Cabramatta and the right at home Jackaroos. He's got a very quick sprint.
He has. He's run up and down a few times. And when you're bowling like that, you want to watch it. Great shot.
Is ginormous from Lee Greening.
Very hard to get at that bowl with speed. A lot of traffic to get through.
Well, this could be as much as 4.
Just wants to come around and sit off of the... No, he's going to crash in early.
So that is a 4.
Ooh.
And all of a sudden, from 14-4 down, Lee Greening and Darren Edmonston, they're fighting hard at the halfway point. We reckon that this is 10-14. We'll get the up. It's either 9 or 10.
Super in there, wasn't it?
Carl's going to update this up for us, but this has been some sort of a comeback. They're fighting with tooth and nail. It is 10. And it's only 4 shots the difference.
We saw this in this morning's game. A team get out to a big start and then reeled in. We're being treated to another spectacle here this afternoon.
Kane and Jacob Nelson leading Ryan Bester and Ryan Burnett 9-5. And that's after defeating Blake Butler and Callum Alberti this morning. Blake and Callum featured in one of the matches of the tournament yesterday on our live stream. You can go back and watch that on BA's YouTube channel. Nelson boys just having a little bit too much for them. Of course, Kane, you'll know well on Rinkside Live, sat with me throughout BPL 20 last year.
Lee willing that one on, yep. It's 2 feet short. Need to reach.
From 5-2 down, Gary Kelly, Corey Wedlock leading 9-6. Imagine if the results go the way of the 2 Victorian teams that Nick and Carl are playing and Gary and Corey are playing. Imagine the upset for a spot in the final. 2 Victorian teams that have knocked off Jackaroos, world champions. It's still within the realms of possibility. Wasn't looking like that here a couple of ends ago at 14-4 after 7. Settled in nicely of Darren and Lee. City of Geelong Bowling Club. City Thunder.
The City Thunder.
They are bringing the thunder.
Nick on the forehand. Just coming under that bowl. Left it jack high. Just in front. Bowl in front.
Among the people watching in the crowd here, Brent Herbert, there's Aaron Sheriff. We can see him lurking. You can just see him there, sort of just to the left of Nick Carl, standing behind rink 1.
Yep. Stars everywhere. You walk through the club and around the greens.
One of the greatest ever to do it. What has Lee Greening got? They need to keep winning ends.
Certainly need to cut down the 3 down here.
So these matches aren't being live scored. We'll bring you the updates when we can. And of course, you can go to the results.bowlslink.com.au or Bowls Now app at the end of the session. If you want to check out the results, we'll bring you all the updates when we can, though. We have an eye on all the scores, so when it's appropriate, we'll give you those updates and let you know what's happening in the state of play around the quarterfinals of the men's pairs.
Good shot from Cahill Healey then. Just getting another counter. Should Lee make any contact with the bowl jack, the jack will just roll towards where Cahill's bowl is. Playing good position bowls.
So Lee Schreiner and Ray Pearce leading 15-4 on their rink. And a little bit of a fun fact about Leroy and Razor is that they were part of the most recent Perth Suns team to make the finals at the Bowls Premier League. BPL 12 all the way back in February 2021. Leroy, Razor, Jen Delves and Josh Thornton as the coach got through. Perth still yet to win that final, but Leroy and Razor were part of the team that last got to that final Friday night.
Lee following this one down.
Well, he's not far away.
God.
Oh, wow, that's a mighty fine effort from Lee Greening.
Very good. They were lots of shots down. That's a great bowl from Lee. Cut it right back to 1. Wanted it just to hold that fraction longer.
Cahill Healey, what is he doing here? Is he trying to... He doesn't want any jack movement towards that.
He's going at it.
Yeah. What's he doing here? Nick just in the way. Carl's coming through. Oh, he doesn't want to get rid of their own. Oh. There's a measure here, and I'm favouring that Lee and Darren might have just pinched this.
Yeah, I feel the same.
And they have... I thought that was a bit risky, but when you're in front 14-10, you can afford to do it a little bit. But 3 ends in a row now for the Victorians. And Lee and Darren finding a way to get back into this.
Yeah, you'd think they definitely had shot there. Giving that away. Losing control of the mat. Now Darren will lead us away again. 3 ends in a row to the Victorian team, the Geelong team. Leaving that one well short. Darren will be hoping to improve on his first one. Darren has improved on his first. Couple of feet short. And Nick drawing shot. It's close.
So 14-11. Yeah, it was an interesting shot played by Cahill Healey at the end because it was risky. And I guess, you know, when you are at 14-10, you can afford to do it a little bit. But, yeah, just the concerning weight there. And you don't want to give the opposition the momentum.
Absolutely not.
And look, I guess you got to be in the area. You got to try these things. So, you know, for the high risk, there's high reward. And he wasn't far off. So, you know, you'd back them trying it when you're in that position, and you got to try it anyway. That's why Cahill is who he is, because he's made a living of making these shots. So, risk and reward. Cahill generally gets the reward. This time he didn't. No harm done. Dropped a 1. If they lose by 1, then I think you'll think about it a little more.
Yeah. We've all made those decisions, and when it goes wrong, you think, why did I do that?
But this is a good grouping from Nick Cahill here. He's done beautifully.
It's just the one shot to Nick. Second wood is the yellow short bowl. Lee Greening, get around that. Oh, I think his weight's good.
Definitely need to get one past, though, because Nick has those bowls there in any trail on this jack. And it's very dangerous.
Yeah, that last bowl is a wing bowl just coming in. Gives you a guide. Have a look at that from Cahill Healey.
That's the one. Nick liked it. Feels like this match has gone super quickly. We did start a little bit earlier than 11:45. Of course, no time limit, so they can play for 7 hours if they want to. Don't think they will.
Not the way they're getting through the ends.
No. Oh, has Lee done enough? Oh,
Fell out.
Fell out. It's the replay of Carlos.
Yeah, great bowl. That was. Just putting it on the line. Perfect grass.
So now Lee has 1 left. And I think, yeah, it's going to have to be try and get that dead draw. Maybe he comes on the backhand, he can sit his own, push it up, in for shot. Maybe sit his own past the jack a little bit, in for shot.
He can play onto that bowl. He only needs to turn it over once. It doesn't require massive weight. But if he does overplay it and turns it onto the jack, which he shouldn't, they have nothing behind.
I'll tell you what, he's watching intently, and he's not far away here, Lee Greening.
It's not going to bend in time.
No, but it's going to go around the back. So they're 1 down. Any trail here for Cahill. And this will be a liquid goal. I'm not sure how he can get to it. It's a little bit difficult to imagine.
Regardless which direction the jack goes, if it goes back, it's all the New South Wales team behind.
He's stalking. He's stalking. So is Nick.
Just
Cahill.
gonna miss the jack. Oh,
Oh, wow. Has he made 2 here, though?
I don't think it's a good bowl. He might have. Now they've moved that shot bowl. It looks in view. Measuring his neck.
Great effort if he has. Cahill Healey, what have you done?
1. As we mentioned, if with that perfect weight of Cahill Healey, if he'd picked up the jack and moved it to that position, it would have been 4. Can have a chat here.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if they make this short. Because I know Cahill is very good and he's sort of pointing where to put the mat, is he? I'm not obviously not being privy to these conversations. And let's see what Nick Cahill does. Douglas Wilcock watching on from Bulgaria. Great to have your company again, Douglas. 5:50 in the morning. You are a keen bean. Love it. Absolutely love it. Would you get up at 5:50 to watch bowls?
Only if you're commentating, Val.
Oh, shucks.
I have been known to have the bowls on in the background when I'm working or...
And, well, you told me yesterday that you're an early riser.
Yep.
6 o'clock in the morning. You're a sicko. I'm definitely not an early riser. I do struggle in the morning, so it takes me a while to get going.
No.
After
6
an hour,
o'clock's normal.
After an hour, I'm all right.
This morning, up early, 5:30.
Why?
I just enjoy the magnificent Gold Coast. Went for a beautiful walk.
At 5 in the morning?
No, I didn't go at 5. I got changed to walk to to Broadbeach.
Okay.
But yeah, had breakfast and then had a bit of a walk around the Gold Coast. And it's amazing. Even at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock when there's things happening all the time here.
Well, it's because the sun's out so early. It's definitely a morning place.
And a nighttime
And a
place
night
too.
place. Everybody has a siesta in the afternoon and then they keep pushing. So, Nick Cahill has led pretty well so far. He's got one sort of on, one in front with Love one behind now where Darren Edmonston's got his. And I dare say that's where he's going.
Went out for dinner last night and you just see bowlers everywhere. You can see them wearing their bowls hats at night.
See that
jackets.
NMP logo?
Yep.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere. People enjoying the nice weather, the good times, good people. It really is a tournament. If you've never been, plan it. It's a great holiday.
And Darren, they're in this now.
Absolutely.
I think Darren and Lee would be looking at each other saying, we are in this contest. We're 4 behind. We are one big end away from breaking this one open. We're not even 2/3 of the way through, and we're going with them. That's what they need to be thinking.
Yeah, trailing by as much as 10 only 5 ends ago. Huge turnaround.
Nelson brothers lead Bester and Burnett 12-6. Gary Kelly and Corey Wedlock leading 10-7 on their rink. 19-5 in favour of Lee Schreiner and Ray Pearce.
Just looking at that Schreiner-Pearce rink here, just in front of us, against the 2 South Australians, Kobe Jarman and Bodner. The head, there wouldn't be a bowl more than, oh, there is now, one just rolled through. I was going to say there isn't a bowl more than 2 feet from the jack. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 bowls within 2 feet of the jack. That's how tight they are. So,
and on the sectional draws, Lee Schreiner was actually listed with Matthew Bouse to play.
right.
And I think Razor might have been a late in. If anybody can attest to that in the comments, please do so. But Clive and I doing the preview on the right line, we said it was Matty Bouse and Lee Schreiner. But if Razor was to win this title, he would have won 2 titles 2 years in a row where he was a late in.
Oh.
He was a late into the fours last year. And in that final, Cahill Healey ran out of toucher spray. That's how well he led against Jack and Joey. I think it was Jack leading. incredible.
Lee just around the back.
And
just an edge inside of that bowl.
he wins things in strange fashion, does Ray Pearce, because even when he won the indoors, he used Max Giuffre's bowls.
Oh,
Yep.
just any bowls will do
Well,
for...
Same make, the Aero, but he used Max Giuffre's.
Right.
I think his were lost in transit, and Max Giuffre said, "Oh, well, you can use mine."
Wow.
He used them, and he used them to win a gold medal.
So Ray's just a fill-in. Just comes and...
Well, not the indoors. He won his way there, but
not that.
But no, he's an absolute superstar, is Ray Pearce. We know that much.
Yep.
So what has Carl got? Oh, he's rocketing his way through. Probably favouring one to that Nick Carl bowl. Maybe two here. Big bowl coming up for Lee Greening. If he comes through on the backhand, little tuck of that jack, could make two and get within 3 shots here.
Yes, it's hard to see on the stream, but that coloured bowl of Nick's is in front, and the white bowl is more jack high.
So Lee Greening, again, asked a big question. Had the answers on a lot of occasions. A big 6 dropped on end 4 has probably been the telling end at the moment.
He's had some big draw bowls, Lee. He wanted to shift in. He needs to be inside those two, and he's not.
So, I reckon that was 2, I believe. We'll get that confirmed, but I reckon it was 2.
I'm going to write it down as 2.
17 to 11. And we've hit 2/3 of the way home. They need to keep it under 6. Sitting precariously here for the Victorians. Cahill and Heeley, he's a bowl's tragic, we know that. He's won a lot of events. And he was a bit of a latecomer into the Jackaroos squad, getting selected at the conclusion of 2020, coming into the team in 2021, and there was not one match for the Jackaroos that year, and made his debut in May of 2022 ahead of the Com Games in Leamington Spa on the UK tour that they had. It's great to see. Finally got there and got selected. Ended up going on to win a silver medal at the Com Games with Ben Twist and Barry Lester. Fought back from 12-3 down to go down just against the English trio, and I was there that day, and it was a heartbreaking way to lose, but the fight that they showed was absolutely magnificent. And he's an absolute superstar of a human being as well.
Yep.
Great fella. I get along with Carl really well, and I'm sure most do as well. Just easy to talk to.
Darren turning that one up.
Well, there's been a huge turnaround in this Best at Burnett game. Next door. From, I think it was, what, 12-5 down?
Yep.
13-12 in favour of the Nelson brothers. So Bester and Burnett have come back hard. Still not sure who's going through to the semi-finals yet. We think Leah Schreiner and Ray Pearce are. They're looking the goods.
Yeah, they're in control of their match, but across the others, they're all close.
Darren Edmonston wants it to get down.
It could be shot.
could. Not sure. I reckon I'm going with Nick still. Just on our angle, but I'm not sure.
If you looked at the stream, you'd say the yellow bowl's closer, but in real life, it's very close. I'm sure it'll change with the likes of Cahill and Heeley.
Well, it has now. We know what shot is.
That's probably not the result he wanted.
No. But it did change. You were right.
Yep.
Only one bowl past the jack at the moment. Big end for the Victorians. Can they win it? Can they keep a hold on this contest and just keep themselves in it? Lee Greening wanted a little bit more on that.
It's harder and harder to get to. All the bowls except one are in front of the jack. Start looking at turning bowls up and using bowls. Not much of a clear path.
Really enjoyable contest.
This is an example. Into the head.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Reckon they've gone 2 down now.
More opportunity, though. Has changed the head dramatically, just that shot. Open it up.
So where's Lee going here? Is he going behind, do you think, or is he just going to pop another one in?
Just like Darren to stand out of the way.
Come on, Daz. Got the trot going, Lee, so he doesn't mind it.
He wants to hit the yellow, and he did. Yep.
Yep, and he's got behind as well.
Yep, as we mentioned, just had to use bowls. Wasn't much of a clear path to draw, so rolling one over.
All right, well, they dropped a 2 on the last end. If they can get maybe a 3 or a 4 here, the Victorians, just closes the door a little bit more, closes the gap, or opens the door, I should say. Closes the gap. Trying to think of 2 different phrases at once.
Yeah.
It didn't go well. How am I going? Need some lunch. And I hear the bagels are coming.
The world famous bagels. I've heard the story on the stream before. Tried my first one yesterday. Here we go.
Oh, wow. And I reckon he's manufactured something here, Cahill and Heeley.
Might have. Is that in that side bowl of Carl's?
Yeah, I think he has here. I think he has.
Just feathered, sliced the jack almost at right angles.
But
I think they're still down.
It's close. Very close. So what's the indication here? Are they trying to work off a bowl, trying to work off nicks, come through?
Yeah, well, that on the stream, the white bowl in front of the yellow, there is a bowl gap different. You can't see that on the stream, so it's not like they can play onto that bowl of rays to push their yellow in. That won't work. They have to come around it or under it. And that's what he's weighing up. I think he's decided on a round. He won't want to hit that bowl. If he hits it with too much weight, there's a chance that he could push it over twice, which would nearly push it into being shot.
Lee Greening, what have you got?
As we thought, just a draw weight. Try and get through the gap of the yellow bowls. He'll want to bend now. He likes it. It's coming. Oh, it's just hit.
So what's the adjudication? Not a clue. Come on, guys. Give us something. Carl, I think we'll update it. And we'll find out what the total is. I think it was 1.
I reckon it's 1. Yep.
Has to be.
Yep.
I think we're going at 17-12. That's what we're calling it. 5 shots the difference. And that is the total. So our eyes don't deceive us.
5 ends to go. 5 shots.
Final match of the day will start at 2:30 in the afternoon, so in an hour and 25 minutes' time. Men's pairs semi-final, a spot in the decider up for grabs. Corey Wedlock, Gary Kelly leading 14-7 in their game. So they're starting to make their move for a spot in the semi. The winner of this will take on them. Made the semis last year. Corey and Gaz lost to Jack and Joey. Bester and Burnett 13 all. With Kane and Jacob Nelson. So the two brothers, the Capalaba Comets, not comments. So used to saying comments. So bring you that, or what we're doing next. I believe we might be doing the top half of the draw.
Sorry to giggle mid-sentence. I'm just looking at the comments. Stephen Crystallitis said, my neighbour just come over to find out who I was yelling at to get out of the way. I assume that's right.
Oh, it happens. Look, they might not be as used to streaming or to being on the live stream. It's not like the other day, one of the players in the women's fours, we did word them to hop out of the centre line, and during the match, Troy went to give them a little bit of a nudge to say, oh, would you mind just hopping off the centre line? And she snapped back at him.
Right. It's my green, I'll stand where I want to.
Yeah.
It's hard as a player when you're not used to it. Habits just creep back in, and I know when I watch, good bowl here from Nick, I know when I'm skipping and watch bowls come down, I like to get in the head and have a nice close look, and we've seen that a few times on the stream, so forgive those players. They are concentrating.
And a bit of a disaster on the next rink. Ryan Bester's driven the jack, knocked it onto the bank, and knocked a container of food over.
Oh no! Lunch!
It's not our bagels, is it?
Oh no, that is disaster.
That would be a disaster. But any wasted food is bad. So what's the conversation here for league greening? Where are they going?
Well, I'm unsure of the jack position in relation to the distance to that shot bowl of Nick Cahill's. But regardless, Lee doesn't want it there. So he needs to arrive on it. Or kick his bowl in. That one's not going to work out.
Well, here is Max Vollerberg with the bagels. He's arrived. They're here.
Our mind on the job, brother.
It's not, I can multitask, it's fine.
I think we might see more weight here now. He's got that sort of back bowl. He's playing through the head, as I thought. He's just got to make contact, and it will kick the jack back. It's just missing.
Really big end in the context of this matchup because of where it sits. 5 shots the difference.
Darren's boys just discussing what happened. Darren kicked the bowl, the white bowl.
Got to be careful.
And Nick's put the wrong bowl back.
Yeah, it's a...
He put the black and white bowl instead of the white bowl back.
Hopefully it's inconsequential at the end of the end.
It was a bit confusing for a sec. There was two bowls that Darren had, one on his heel that he kicked and then picked his foot up for Lee's bowl to go underneath.
Still one to the New South Wales pairing.
A lot to discuss here. Delicately poised this game at 12-17. Victorian City Thunder there discussing. They're 5 down. They don't want to lose another one. That becomes 6. They're looking at angles. There's no real big groups of numbers anywhere. Bowls scattered, split. But Lee must make contact on that. Shot bowl of Nick's.
Is he close? He's coming. Leg greening.
Oh, he slit the jack sideways.
And I think one down. Great effort, but Carl will have an opportunity here to just widen the margin a little more.
Yes, he's got a reasonably free hit here. 2 or 3 feet to draw a second wood, Carl, and you think the way he's going, he would be able to do that. He'll draw on the backhand. Jack's over a line.
What has Carl Healey delivered? Has he got the healing touch?
Just went past, too far past for one.
18-12. 4 ends to play.
So that margin's still 6. Going to try and close that gap here, Lee and Darren. But Nick and Carl playing well enough. Nick putting the pressure on, getting bowls around the jack, behind. And that bowl is no exception. Excellent leading by Nick, Carl. Darren ensuring he's not short. That's good. Good catching position. Bester going on the next ring, 100 miles an hour. Ball spreading everywhere. Shaking hands here on Rink 1 and Lee Schreiner.
They're through.
They are through.
Ray Pearce and Lee Schreiner.
Huge weight there from Darren. Nick has set up this head very well. 2 bowls on the jack. One just behind.
Hasn't played too many drives, but the other one that he played was very successful. So maybe yeah, wouldn't mind seeing some more of it.
Yeah, they can't afford to go 2 and 3 shots down at this stage of the game. They need to catch up 6.
Yep, with 4 to go. Or 3 to go after this.
Cahill and Healey just taking no chances, putting one at the back. Good experience, shot bowl there. It's covering the tee.
So this is our final day streaming at the Broadbeach Bowls Club before the finals. Tomorrow we're all at Helensvale because it's going to be a massive day. Lee going with a bit of weight. Not quite working.
No, it's panic stations for the Victorian team.
So it's looking like Ray Pearce and Lee Schreiner will move through to the semi-finals, or they're looking like they're going to meet. Well, we're not sure yet. Jacob and Kay Nelson leading 16-13. And I reckon that might be the match that we bring you next. Not 100% sure yet. We'll keep you updated. But nothing at Broadbeach until finals days. Tomorrow, of course, the big bump in for all the grandstands. Lee needs something here. And this is dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
Yep, they've had 2 big drives, both missing.
Currently down 3. 2 on the tee. So Lee Greening is going to have to pull something out of the hat, because I dare say Carl's going to pop something back. The trail immediately or extremely difficult to get to. So dead draw, I think it's going to have to be.
It's not a wide target from the point of view of the mat. Bowl and a half's all you got to hit. And if you don't hit it, it's worth nothing.
3 here would make the margin 9. 3 ends to play. Incredibly difficult.
Darren and Lee considering all options.
So, the most telling bowl of the match. Lee Greening.
A lot less weight than before.
He's watching. Oh, he's not far away. And he's just moving through. It is a triple. And is that the straw that broke the camel's back? 21-12. Carl and Nick. Well, if they can score 4 on this end, which I've only done once, got a big 6 on end 4, but a 4 will close out the match. They're in cruise, or not cruise control, but they're in a promising position. Gary Kelly, Corey Wedlock look like they'll probably be going through. 16-7 to the good.
Problem for the Victorians is they're chasing numbers now. So
And
opens them up.
I think, yes, Bester and Burnett gone. That match has finished up. Didn't see the handshakes, but they're off the rink and they were down by 3. So I think the Nelson brothers might be going through to the semi-finals here of the Australian Open in 2025. Jacob made the singles final in 2023.
Nick with another good starter. 6 inches from the jack. His second bowl's going to... Oh, it's just missed.
So next up, we are going to be bringing you Lee Schreiner and Ray Pearce against the Nelson brothers. If it is the Nelson brothers, either way, we're bringing you that rink. Lee Schreiner and Ray Pearce. Whoever they're playing, we believe it's the Nelson boys. We can confirm that, as Darren
Ripper.
Edmonston says thank you very much.
What a shot there. Going bowl for bowl, the leaders.
Nick has been wonderful.
Excellent.
Colossal Carl.
See if he can pinch it back. He's in the area.
Oh, wow.
Just toe-to-toe, the two leads. But Nick Carl has shot. There's that one of Darren's. What a shot that was. Just taking the jack gently away. And Nick said, nope, I'm not having any part of that. Great vision there. Great replays from Connor.
Oh, he's flying. So keep an eye on results.bowlslink.com.au or the Bowls Now app for the final scores of each session of each match. Can't exactly tell you. They took the scoreboard off the rink immediately and off the scoreboard. So reckon it was the Nelson brothers, though we didn't even see the shake of hands.
No, they were done.
Very quick. But Bester wasn't in the... It didn't look like he was overly pleased walking past us. So Lee Greening pops one behind. And either way, these two are going to be elated with how they've played. Looks as though Carl and Nick are in cruise control now. They've got things moving well. Scoreboard's in their favour. Holding a couple again. Holding one again, you'd think.
Yeah, unsure if the second one, white bowl of Carl's is in.
I think it's only just the one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to have to be something extraordinary now for Lee and Darren to overcome this. But they'll be pretty pleased with how they've gone. And that bowl shop at the City of Geelong Bowling Club, which Lee runs so well, they'll be stopping for selfies, I'm sure. If anybody's watching
Massive.
from the City of Geelong, let us know the parade that you're going to give them, because they certainly deserve it to get through to the quarterfinals of the Australian Open in the men's pairs. They've come through a hell of a lot of teams and have been magnificent throughout their campaign. Lee getting out of the singles, pairs and fours sections.
That's a huge effort, isn't it?
Yep, and look
Three
at that from
formats.
Carl.
Yeah, unreal.
Healing hands. Got Clive Adams messaging in, played Lee at the Everest this year. Didn't tell me who won.
He wouldn't have brought it up if... am I right? I didn't see whether that second shot was in. We knew it was 1, but...
3, I think it was.
Oh, was it?
End.
Right, sorry. Oh, yeah, okay.
2 or a 3. I'm going to call it a 3. Which, either way, makes it
very difficult.
Almost impossible now. They have to get 2 full counts to even tie it. So anything less than that for Greening and Edmonston, and the match is well and truly concluded. But you'd back it now for Carl and Nick to go through to the semi-finals, where they're looking to face off against Corey Wedlock and Gary Kelly, who have made it through. So this is the last one still going. So the winner of this to take on Corey and Gary. And we think that it's going to be Nick Carl and Cahill and Heeley, who will go through to the Australian Open Men's Pairs Final. The Nelson brothers, they're through. They've beaten Burnett and Bester. And we'll be bringing you the Lee Strainer, Ray Pearce, against Jacob and Kane Nelson up next, 2:30 p.m. Get excited, ladies and gentlemen.
Good again there from Darren. Nothing really to play for. They've now an amazing job. They got fairway behind early and fought right back to within 3. And now just finishing out the game. Drawing on the backhand again. He gets around. Oh, it's got to reach. Just a couple of feet short, so that's not in the count. He does have 2.
Yeah, but the problem is they need 6.
They do.
Twice. So looking like it's going to be all the more difficult now for the 2 Victorians who have had a gallant tournament. They have been wonderful to get through to this position, but finally the run, well, not finally, but it does come to a stop. Cahill Heeley and Nick Carl have just proved all too good in the end. They've played so well, and Lee and Darren haven't played badly, but the consistency of the 2 Jackaroos has been on show for all to see. But Lee Greening and Darren Edmonston will make the trip home with their heads held high because they have enjoyed a thrilling tournament. Quarters in the men's pairs at the Australian Open. It does not get much better than that.
Nice from Lee. Just underneath. Yeah, tremendous tournament. They won't go home too disappointed, no. I don't think. It was their highlight. They said it at the start.
Well, yeah, for a career highlight, to be living the career highlight as Cahill Heeley puts it to bed. Too good.
That's unreal.
The man affectionately known as Carlos gets it done. They're not making 6 now. On replay, literal perfection. Unless they come through and clear them all out somehow. But This is going to have to be the cowboy shot of all cowboy shots.
It's going to need about 4 wicks.
Lee Greening. Controlled weight.
He has played these shots reasonably well at times.
Oh, he's going to hit
got
something.
a couple out.
He has, but now with one out of bounds. All but confirmed. Mathematically impossible. Nick knows it.
Just looking at the card and doing the maths.
Yep. So they're going through. They'll meet Corey Wedlock and Gary Kelly. And we've got a scintillating finish to the day coming up. Who is going to be in the men's pairs final? Is it going to be Cahill and Healey and Nick Carl, or Corey Wedlock, Gary Kelly, or Lee Strainer and Ray Pearce, or Kane and Jacob Nelson?
Huge Final Four, isn't it? It's what the crowds have come to watch.
All 4 teams are the cream of the crop. Lee Greening looking for one last shot for good measure. He won't get it. I think there'll be 3 down at the end of it. And in the end, they run away with a 3, a 3, and a 3 to take it home 27-12. We'll get score confirmation for Bowlslink. But Cahill Healey and Nick Carl conclude this one. They will go through to the semi-finals of the men's pairs at the 2025 Australian Open. An exquisite performance and a brilliant performance from Lee Greening and Darren Edmonston as well. Thoroughly deserved their spot here. Played an amazing tournament. To get through to the quarters is no mean feat in the men's pairs. With so many teams in the draw, they should be so thrilled with that performance. They said it was their career highlight, and I'm sure they will live off this one for many years to come. Free beers and free alcohol for them at their club, that's for sure. But Brett Herbert, thank you very much.
Thanks, Val. Yep, been fantastic.
And a big thank you to Connor Munnings behind the scenes. We'll be back at 2:30 p.m, 58 minutes time to be just exact. Maybe a little earlier, depending on when they want to start. Lee Strainer and Ray Pearce up against the Nelson brothers, Jacob and Kane.